Welcome to F1 Blogs. Ready for a deep dive? Carlos Sainz Jr. to Williams Racing. It's a move that's got everyone talking, and I'm really curious to unpack it all.
It is a bit of a head-scratcher at first glance, right? You've got Sainz, a driver who has been consistently performing well at Ferrari.
Yeah, statistically, he's been their second-best driver for the last 4 years.
Exactly, and suddenly he's out of a top seat.
Crazy when you think about some of his recent performances, like that dominant win in Mexico last year.
Oh, absolutely. Mexico was incredible, and let's not forget his victory in Singapore. Remember, Red Bull was basically unstoppable that season, and Sainz still managed to pull it off.
Huge statement.
Yeah.
So what happened? How did a driver with that kind of track record end up at Williams?
Well, it's a complicated story. It all starts with Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. Hamilton's shock move to Ferrari for 2025. That really threw things into chaos.
Yeah, it's like a giant game of musical chairs at the top teams. Hamilton to Ferrari closes the door for Sainz.
Okay, so that's one seat gone. And what about Mercedes?
They went with Antonelli. Seems like they're putting their faith in young talent.
Makes sense. And Red Bull. They're probably sticking with their winning duo.
Right, exactly. Verstappen and Perez are a formidable pairing. Red Bull isn't going to risk disrupting that dynamic.
So that leaves, what? McLaren and AstonMartin.
You got it. But those teams already had their lineups locked in. No space for Sainz.
So he's looking at, what, Audi, Alpine, and Williams. Those were his only options.
Pretty much. He did consider those other teams, but in the end, he chose Williams.
That's the part I'm struggling with. Williams finished 9th in the Constructors' Championship.
Right, and they had some serious financial issues this past season. Huge repair costs all year.
Exactly. So what could have possibly attracted Sainz to a team that's, well, struggling?
You have to look beyond the current standings. There's more to it than meets the eye.
I'm listening.
Well, for starters, James Vowles, their team principal, is super enthusiastic about this signing. He's already said that Sainz and Albon could be the best driver pairing outside of the top teams.
Wow, he's setting the bar pretty high.
He is, but there's reason for that confidence, Doralton Capital. The team's owner is investing heavily in Williams.
Okay, so there's serious financial backing.
Absolutely. They're committed to a long-term plan, and they see Sainz as a key piece of that puzzle.
So it's a rebuilding project, but one with serious potential.
Exactly. And don't forget about the 2026 regulation changes. Those are going to shake things up big time.
Yeah, everyone's talking about those. They're supposed to level the playing field in a lot of ways.
Right. And that creates a huge opportunity for teams like Williams to make a leap forward. That probably factored into Sainz's decision.
It's almost like he's making a calculated gamble, betting on Williams' potential and hoping to be in the right place at the right time for 2026.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. And, Sainz has a history of elevating the teams he's been a part of.
He does. McLaren, Renault, Toro Rosso, even Ferrari to some extent.
Exactly. He seems to have a knack for getting the most out of a team, pushing them to perform better than anyone expects.
So maybe he sees this as an opportunity to build something special at Williams, to leave his mark on the team.
That's a great point. And speaking of building something special, Ferrari actually gave Sainz permission to test for Williams before his contract even ends.
Wait, really? That's almost unheard of. Why would they do that?
It tells you a lot, first of all. It shows how much respect Ferrari has for Sainz, even as they're letting him go.
Yeah, they're clearly not holding any grudges.
Exactly. And secondly, it suggests that they don't see Williams as an immediate threat. It's like they're saying, go ahead, get a head start. You'll need it.
Interesting. So Sainz is already getting a feel for the Williams.
Right.
He's been testing in Abu Dhabi, driving both the 2024 car and the 2025 Mule car, which for anyone who doesn't know, is essentially a test bed for new components and technologies.
And remember, those Mule cars are running Pirelli's new tires for 2026. So Sainz is getting a sneak peek at what the future holds.
Wow. While he's doing all that, Hamilton won't even be able to drive a Ferrari until January. That's a huge advantage for Sainz.
It is. He's getting valuable time to adapt to the team, to the car, to the new tires. It's a head start you can't underestimate.
It's a big gamble, leaving a top team like Ferrari to join one that's been struggling. But he seems to believe in the potential. And this early testing could really give him a chance to shape that potential, to make Williams into a contender again.
It's almost like he's taking on a leadership role, guiding Williams into the future.
It's a fascinating story. And it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, he seems pretty determined. Remember that statement he made about the media underestimating his motivation?
Oh, yeah. He definitely had a point to prove.
Yeah.
But I still think some people are going to see this move as a step down.
It's understandable. He's leaving Ferrari, a team that's fighting for championship.
Exactly. For Williams, a team that's, let's just say they have a lot of work to do.
Right. But I think Sainz sees it differently.
Yeah.
I think he sees it as an opportunity.
To what? Prove himself.
To prove himself,
Yeah.
yes. But also to build something special. Remember, Sainz isn't just fast. He's incredibly smart, technically gifted.
He's always been known for his ability to provide detailed feedback to really help develop the car.
Exactly. At Ferrari, he was often overshadowed by Leclerc's raw pace.
Yeah, Leclerc was definitely the flashier driver.
But in many ways, Sainz was the glue that held that team together.
You're saying he's more than just a driver? He's an asset to the whole team.
Absolutely. And that's what makes him so valuable to Williams. They're not just getting a talented driver, they're getting someone who can help them build a winning culture.
Someone who can push the engineers and mechanics to get the most out of the car.
Right, and Sainz has a track record of doing just that. Look at his time at McLaren.
Yeah, he helped turn them into a consistent podium contender.
Yeah.
He's done it before, so maybe he believes he can do it again with Williams.
That's the hope.
Hmm.
And it's worth remembering, Sainz wasn't always in Leclerc's shadow at Ferrari. He had some incredible moments.
Oh, yeah. We talked about his wins in Mexico and Singapore. But what about his overall performance during those championship years?
Well, Leclerc definitely had the edge in qualifying and in race pace.
He did seem to have that extra bit of speed.
But Sainz was always there, pushing him scoring points, playing a crucial role in their championship bids, you know. To win a championship, you need both drivers performing at a high level.
And Sainz consistently delivered.
Exactly. It wasn't just about outright speed for him, it was about consistency, reliability, and contributing to the team's overall success. His technical insights were invaluable to Ferrari.
Yeah, he was known for his ability to really understand the car and to communicate his feedback effectively to the engineers.
Right. He played a huge role in their development process. So it's safe to say Ferrari is losing more than just a driver.
They're losing a key member of their team.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this move so intriguing. Sainz is taking a risk.
A big one.
Yeah.
But he's also bringing a wealth of experience and knowledge to Williams, a team that's desperate to get back to winning ways.
It's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic for a moment. Williams finished 9th in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, they struggle with reliability all season.
Those are serious challenges, even with Sainz on board.
So where do they even begin? What are the key areas they need to focus on to make this partnership successful?
Well, first and foremost, car development. They need to close that performance gap.
Which means improving their aerodynamics, their engine power, their overall chassis design.
It's a tall order.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's not impossible. They have the resources, thanks to Doralton Capital, and they now have a driver in Sainz who can push them in the right direction. His technical feedback will be crucial.
So it's a combination of investment and expertise.
Mhm.
But what about those reliability issues? Those seem to plague them all year.
That's another area where Sainz can make a difference. His meticulous approach, his attention to detail, it can help them identify and address those weak points. It's not just about building a fast car, it's about building a reliable one.
So Sainz's role goes beyond just driving the car. He's also going to be instrumental in developing it, fine-tuning it.
Exactly. He's going to be a leader, a mentor, a driving force behind their resurgence.
It's almost like he's becoming the architect of their future.
That's a great way to put it. He's not just building a career, he's helping to rebuild a team.
We've talked a lot about Sainz and Williams, but what about the fans? What's the reaction been like to this move?
It's been mixed. Some fans are excited. They see it as a chance for Sainz to prove himself, to really show what he can do.
Yeah, he's got that underdog spirit. People love to root for that.
Exactly. But there are also those who are skeptical. They think it's a step down for him.
Yeah, can't blame him. He's leaving Ferrari, a team that's consistently fighting for wins and championships.
Right, and they're worried he'll be stuck in the midfield at Williams.
While his former teammates are battling for the title, it's a valid concern. It's a big gamble for Sainz.
It is. But that's what makes Formula One so exciting. There's always an element of risk.
And we love to see how it all plays out. Who doesn't love a good underdog story?
Exactly. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, Sainz is going to give it everything he's got.
He's never been one to back down from a challenge. And who knows? Maybe this is the start of something special. Maybe we'll see Williams back on the podium, fighting for wins.
It's a tantalizing prospect. Wouldn't that be something? Williams back at the front of the grid.
It would be amazing. And if it does happen, Sainz will be at the heart of it.
Absolutely. He'll be the architect of their revival, the leader who guides them back to the top.
That's a legacy any driver would be proud of. So the big question is, will Sainz's gamble pay off?
Only time will tell. But it's going to be a fascinating journey, and we'll be here on F1 Blogs, breaking it all down for you every step of the way. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss any of the action.